NXT is just not doing it for me anymore. We are live, man. No, there's no Mean Marky D tonight because even me, Marky D, can't stand NXT. Or maybe he actually got a date with Tony Storm. I don't know. NXT tonight, Adam Cole returns for the first time since NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. What does Kyle O'Reilly have to say about Adam Cole? More Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell. Women's Tag Team Championship drama. And the real reason why NXT moved to Tuesday nights. Here's a little spoiler for you, folks. It has nothing to do with the National Hockey League, aka the NHL. We're going to talk about that. And is Tessa Blanchard on her way to NXT? This is your NXT post show on your Tuesday night. This is Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your NXT post show for April 27th, 2021. I am your host, JD from New York. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for spending your Tuesday nights with me. You know, man, I said it last week, and I want to be real with you. I want to be honest with you. I mentioned it last week how, and I've been mentioning this for well over a year, how I just feel NXT is not the same NXT that we all loved when it was on the WWE Network at 1 hour. I was hoping that things would change, and next week seems to be a little bit more of an important show. Finn Balor's coming back next week. Adam Cole is back. He's continuing his feud with Kyle O'Reilly. Karrion Kross has not really been seen as far as an in-ring aspect goes ever since he's won the NXT Championship. We got a championship match, no holds barred next week, Falls Count Anywhere match with Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. Should be a decent show next week. But I said it last week, man, NXT just doesn't do it for me anymore. They don't. It is so sad how this show has become so blatantly unimportant. Like, I don't know what I'm watching anymore, man. I genuinely don't care about anybody on this show anymore. The only reasons why I cared about NXT was because of Adam Cole and Io Shirai. That was it. They were the two best in their class. And Adam Cole is all but done. I'm assuming he's going to be going to the main roster. This is the last year for sure. Unless he's going to be NXT for life, which I don't know if that's really fair for Adam Cole. He's due to get called up, demoted. And Io Shirai, the same thing. After that, who do we have? We don't really have anybody. It just doesn't do it for me anymore, man. It is so sad how unimportant NXT has become. And this is my second week now covering NXT coming out of WrestleMania weekend. And I kind of want to do away with the reviews completely all over again. Like, I genuinely don't think anybody gives a shit enough about NXT on a Tuesday night in its current state, enough to even sit here and hang out with me on a Tuesday night as I go over my opinion of what I watched tonight. It's quite sad. It really is. All I will say is this, man. I don't know when NXT Evolve is supposed to get up and running. And I'm assuming that's going to be on the WWE Network. And I'm assuming it's going to be an hour. And I'm assuming it's going to be everything that the old NXT was, because since they moved it to the USA Network, it's really had its heart pulled right out of its chest. And a lot of that left with Mauro Ranallo. I'll say it over and over again. The heart and soul of NXT left when Mauro was not brought back. When he just said, you know what? I'm walking away. And I honestly think none of those people have come back and really embraced NXT the way that they used to. This show, I couldn't wait to sit down with this show, man. It is unreal. The night and day difference between the JD of then and the JD of now watching NXT, man. You guys know I was a big NXT guy. I was a huge NXT guy, man. I fucking lived and died NXT. Now I just don't give a shit. And a part of me wants that old NXT back. But I know it's not going to happen because WWE is in a position right now with NXT where it is just too far gone. That road has come and gone. That ship has sailed, man. It's quite sad. It really is. Anyway, we're going to try and go over what we got tonight on the show, guys. I got news and rumors. The NHL is moving to Time Warner, and it pretty much exposed the reason why NXT was moved to Tuesday night, and it had nothing to do with the NHL. And nothing to do with the NHL, because the NHL ended up on the network that houses AEW. So we're going to go over that. I got news on LA Knight. LA Knight said that before he joined NXT, he was hated. And I got news on Kyle O'Reilly. He talks about the ongoing feud with Adam Cole and dives a little bit deeper into what is going on between him and the former leader of the Undisputed Era. Thank you guys so very much for all your support, man. I'm glad you guys enjoy the podcast. I'm glad you guys are with me in the OTS venue. I really appreciate it. We still got the same thing going on as last night, man. We got the off-the-script koozies. We did at least 13 of them. 13 of them on the Monday Night Raw podcast. I only got 50 in total. And we got somebody that already donated 15 plus to get your koozie. So if you guys want your koozies, man, all you gotta do, this is very simple, man. If you guys donate or super chat $15 or more in the super chats tonight, we'll go over them at the end of the show. You guys will get an off-the-script beer koozie, and they are fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. All you guys got to do is super chat 15 or more, and then you're going to email me at JDfromNY206@yahoo.com. You're going to email me your address, and Hoot Media is going to take care of it, and then you guys are going to get your beer koozies, and I'm looking to sell out all 50 of them. So if you guys want yours, We're giving them away because of the grand opening of Inside the OTS venue, man. Because you can't have a cold beverage without a proper koozie. So I figured you guys would have fun with that, man. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JDfromNY206. That is on the social medias. If you guys want to check out all the other videos that I've uploaded, all the other live streams on the channel, make sure you guys go and check all of that stuff out on the channel. We got off the script from this past weekend. We talk about the Mickie James trash bag incident. Was it Mark Carrano? Was it not Mark Carrano? I give my thoughts on all of that. That was uploaded on Saturday. Monday Night Raw, another circus on Monday Night Raw. A 1.7 rating for Monday Night Raw. They do over a 2 for the Raw after Mania. Then they go to a 1.9. And they're right back to where they belong. Should be lower, to be brutally honest with you. A 1.7. They're lucky that they even accumulated a 1.7 with that shit show circus that they did on Monday night. Awful. If you guys want my thoughts on that, that is up on the live podcast side of things on the YouTube channel. Go check that out. I'll be back live tomorrow, as always, with Jessi. We're going to talk AEW Dynamite. We're getting ready for Blood and Guts. Happening very soon, man. Happening very soon. 2,500 tickets sold for Blood and Guts, man. 50% capacity for AEW's version of War Games. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be so good. I can't wait to see it. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys want to hit that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it, being that this is an NXT show and not the normal crowd in here. We got 262 as I read this right now. Let's try for 600 on the live chat tonight, man. On the live stream, let's try for 600 likes. If you guys can do that for me, that is the goal. And tonight's sponsor for the podcast is Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Everything you need is linked down below in the description of this very video. All my sponsors, in fact, are linked down in the description. But today, we're promoting Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout, and that is going to save you 20% off. I want to start at the top with this news, man. AEW is on Wednesday night. NXT's on Tuesday. What happened? What happened? It was all over the NHL. The NHL was rumored to be going to the USA Network. That did not happen. ESPN was also in the running. Fox, I believe, was also in the running. But the NHL and NBC did not come to a deal. They did not. USA Network is owned by NBC Universal. So this was thought to be why NXT was moved off of Wednesday nights in preparation for the NHL's weekly doubleheader. Now AEW could have another issue on their hands on top of the NBA. Turner was the unexpected winner in a bidding war for the NHL rights package. The NBC Sports Network's closure sent those talks into a tailspin, and now Warner Media owns the rights to the NHL for 7 years. This 7-year contract will also include 3 Stanley Cup finals. According to the Associated Press, the contract has not been finalized. Once it does go through, things could change around for Warner Media. Sources said Turner, TNT, and TBS will pay in the neighborhood of $225 million per season over the next 7 years. No specific programming decision was mentioned at this time. This is a very new and developing story. It is very possible to picture TNT as the likely candidate to host Wednesday night NHL games. They already host the NBA. The NHL Wednesday night doubleheader games need to find a new home, and they will be hosted on a Turner channel. Now, I'm not really going to go all conspiracy theory on you. I don't know what's going to happen. I am pretty confident from the knowledge that I already know and the knowledge that I already possess, and I'm turning on to you guys. AEW is not moving off Wednesday night. They're not moving off Wednesday night. They have no other night to go to, okay? I'm pretty sure AEW ratings are better than the NHL. I'm pretty sure the AEW ratings are better than the NBA, especially in the key demographics, okay? AEW is going to remain on Wednesday night. I foresee the NHL going to TBS. And if, and this is a major if AEW was to be shifted to a new night, where would they go? Where exactly would they go? It's too early for them to go to Monday night. Even though Raw is absolutely in the worst state it's ever been in, ever, I don't think AEW is at a point right now where they can compete with Monday Night Raw. Okay? TNA tried to do it, and then it seemed like WWE got a second wind. And they just came out of nowhere and blew TNA out of the water. They thought they were ready to compete. Clearly, they were not. Can't go to Friday night. Why would Tony Khan move AEW right now from its cozy spot, over 1 million rating, right? Key demographics, doing better than both Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Why would you move them to Monday or Friday night to compete with either one of those shows? SmackDown being the better of the two shows and SmackDown getting a better rating than Monday Night Raw. Why would you do that? Why would you do that with AEW? Doesn't make sense to me. They're staying right on Wednesday night. Time Warner knows it. Tony Khan knows it. They're staying right on Wednesday night. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, does this mean that NXT is moving back over to Wednesday night because AEW now is rumored to be moving nights? No. NXT is not moving to Wednesday night again. They're not going from Wednesday night on the WWE Network to Wednesday night on the USA Network, then to Tuesday night on the USA Network, and then back to Wednesday night on the USA Network. It's not going to happen. That is a very weird and bizarre move, if that is indeed the move that they make. They're not doing that. Why would they? That is a stupid fucking thing to even contemplate. Now, all this does is make conversation amongst the geeks on social media. Meanwhile, nobody really knows anything. Nobody knows anything of this deal. All I know is AEW is staying on Wednesday night. I don't think Time Warner is going to jeopardize what they have in AEW. Nobody really expected them to be where they're at right now. And they've absolutely exceeded everybody, including TNT execs, expectations. So why would Time Warner spend $225 million over the next 7 seasons to bump one of their highest rated programs off of their cozy time slot on Wednesday night? Why would they jeopardize that with something that doesn't even get close to the ratings that AEW is pulling in? It's just so stupid. So please stop with the, AEW's moving off Wednesday night. NXT's moving back to Wednesday night. AEW's going to compete with Monday Night Raw. No, none of this is happening. The only thing that this move really did was expose why NXT moved to Tuesday night. That was the only thing that it did. The only thing that it did. All you heard from everybody on social media was, NXT moved to Tuesday night because of the NHL and the NBC Universal deals in talks with the NHL and all this other bullshit. That's all you heard from everybody. All this did now was expose the real reason why NXT was moved to Tuesday night. And that reason is because they were getting their asses handed to them by AEW. USA Network wanted NXT on Tuesday night because they realized, what are we paying for if you guys promised us that you were going to compete with AEW and I can count on one fucking hand how many times you beat them in a year and a half going head to head? Enough. Enough. Stop being a glutton for punishment. Your show is not as good as AEW. You don't have what it takes to beat AEW. The interest in NXT is not there compared to AEW. Vince McMahon bends over backwards for the people that are paying his bills. He bends over backwards for everybody at Fox. Fox is the boss, not Vince McMahon. If Fox wants something, then Vince must do. If USA Network, NBC Universal wants something from Vince, then Vince needs to go and do. If USA Network wants Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw, they're going to make it happen. If USA Network wants a draft, it's going to happen. If USA Network wants a shakeup, it's going to happen. If Fox wants Ronda Rousey on Friday nights, it's going to happen. So why would this be any different? Oh, NXT moved to Tuesday night because of the NHL. No. NXT moved to Tuesday night because USA asked and told Vince McMahon, move this shit to Tuesday night or get it the fuck off. We're not going to renew. And what happened? It ended up being better for NXT and ended up being better for AEW. And then you build from that foundation and you potentially grow. You're never going anywhere competing with AEW. Never. It was just so fucking stupid to everybody with a set of eyeballs. But all this did was expose NXT, and Triple H said that this was an imaginary war, right? Give me a break. Imaginary war. Everything you did was in combat to what AEW was doing. They never asked for anything. AEW never asked for anything. But this was an imaginary war. Everything that WWE did, every move that WWE did was in combat of AEW. Meanwhile, they want you to believe, oh, we're competing against everything. We're competing against Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and football and basketball and the MLB and this and that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're competing against AEW. They're going through the same shit that you're going through, yet I don't hear them making fucking excuses. Meanwhile, NXT management is saying, oh yeah, we're competing against everything. No, you're competing against one entity, and that is Tony Khan. And you failed. And USA had enough of your shit and moved you to Tuesday night because they knew it was best for business. Meanwhile, all you had on the mind was AEW. As AEW continues to dangle NXT from its strings, and Tony Khan is the puppet master. Give me a break, folks. If anybody tells you otherwise, give them the finger and keep walking. This is all you need to know right here. This is the reason. This is the truth. That was the big news. I wanted to put everybody at ease and put this to bed. AEW's not moving off Wednesday. NXT's not moving back to Wednesday. AEW's not moving to Monday to compete with Raw, Friday to compete with SmackDown. It is staying on Wednesday. Do not listen to a Meltzer or anybody talk about, oh, what if? Oh, maybe this or maybe that. No. No. It is what it is. It's right in front of your face. All you need to do is use your brain. Just a little bit. Most of you don't use your brain. Just a little bit, I ask, and you'll come up with a reason. There was a mysterious new signing that was teased tonight. I didn't think much of it, so clearly I went snooping around on what people were talking about. WWE is always looking to make plans for its women's division, and their women's division in NXT seems to be the biggest focus on the entire brand. Whether that's going to equal ratings or not, I don't know. Now fans are wondering what Diamond Mine really means. During tonight's show, they aired a teaser vignette for Diamond Mine. Now, they showed an emblem that said Diamond Mine in 3D, and it rested on a standard diamond logo. There was not much to it, but it definitely got fans talking. Fans all over social media were hurling out guesses, and the one name that was uttered by majority of everybody has been Tessa Blanchard. And the reason why Tessa Blanchard's name is being associated with this tease is because of her association with diamonds in her entrance and in her ring gear. Now, it could legitimately be anybody, but it looked to be a female. I don't know other female free agents out there that NXT would bring in and really hype up through a vignette like this. I don't know any other females that have diamonds being the focal point of their entire character. It seems to be pointing towards Tessa Blanchard. And she's been very active on social media, more so on Instagram than on Twitter. She's been very active on Instagram. And she's been training. And she posted on Instagram, I believe, as of today, in fact, that it's been a rocky year. It's been up and down all over the place. And she's matured into the woman that she is now. And she absolutely loves who she is now as an individual. Or something along those lines that she posted today. We could be looking at Tessa Blanchard coming into NXT. And if that is the case, I would not be surprised. Because by God, man, this brand needs something. This brand needs something that is going to generate any interest at all. And with Io Shirai potentially moving on to the main roster, God help her fucking soul, please. Yes, because Rhea Ripley and Asuka have been booked so good on the main roster on Monday night, right? Yeah, right. Io Shirai is all but gone. They don't really have another female there that's going to take the reins and be the face of that division. It's not Shotzi. It's not Ember Moon. It's not Dakota Kai. I figured it would be Toni Storm, but Toni Storm seems to be in this jobber losing left and right, trying to get one up on Zoe Stark angle. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Toni Storm. But I figured she would be at least at the top, in the top two. Nowhere close. Even the almighty Raquel Gonzalez, folks. I love Raquel Gonzalez. I think she's great. I see big things for Raquel Gonzalez, but just like Bobby Lashley, I don't see Raquel Gonzalez being the woman to lead that division and really be the Rock that it needs. I don't mean the Rock in the way of Dwayne Johnson. I mean, you don't build a division around Raquel Gonzalez. You don't. She doesn't give off that vibe. Not yet, anyway. You need somebody that's going to be a star attraction. You need somebody that's going to be the absolute best of the best in her craft. And that's what Tessa Blanchard brings to the table, whether you like her or not. She's got it. She has star power. Is her past going to continue to haunt her wherever she goes? Yes. And she knows that. All she can do is mature from it and become a better woman. Maybe somewhere along the way, you will see that and she will gain those fans back slowly but surely. But you have every right to hate her or think of her as you want. That is your prerogative. But I'm here to tell you that in the wrestling realm, she's probably the best female wrestler on the face of the earth. And she's exactly what this brand, never mind the division, this brand needs. As far as the division goes, if you don't think Triple H, who already has the best women's division in the world right now in NXT, if you don't think he's going to go out and get the biggest name that you'll possibly see for the next several years floating around on the independent scene in the free agent market, if you don't think Triple H is going to go out and get Tessa Blanchard, then you don't really know how Triple H operates. Soon as he knew Tessa Blanchard was a free agent, I'm sure these discussions were happening last year. And there was some verbal agreement there. But this is what it's leading to. Diamonds, Tessa Blanchard. I don't know. I thought I was watching a fucking commercial for an MMA gym, to be quite honest with you. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then I see Diamond Mine. I legitimately thought I was watching a commercial for a new training facility somewhere in New York City. Then I saw it was an actual tease for somebody joining the brand. So it is what it is, man. It's anybody's guess right now, but clearly everybody's leaning on Tessa Blanchard being the new signee, this mystery vignette that played during tonight's show. And I would not be surprised if it ends up being her. I would not be upset if it was for her. Do I think she probably fare better in AEW? I think they need her a little bit more than NXT does, but when NXT's got a brand that they're making the women their priority, it's tough to see why not in getting Tessa Blanchard, you know? As far as the show goes, man, NXT opened up with a women's match. Dakota Kai versus Mercedes Martinez. The one thing I noticed about this match is, A, Mercedes Martinez is fucking awesome. 2, Dakota Kai is fucking awesome. 3, Raquel Gonzalez is fucking awesome. And 4, I want you guys to think back 24 hours ago. We were watching Monday Night Raw. We watched Asuka. And we watched Rhea Ripley. And we watched Shayna Baszler, right? Asuka is far gone from what she used to be. Shayna Baszler, forget about it, man. They ruined that woman so much that I don't even think she realizes what she is anymore. And then Rhea Ripley is on her way to becoming the next class clown in the eyes of Bruce on Monday night. Those 3 women on Monday night, look at what you watched on Raw. And then look at these 3 women in this match. Dakota Kai versus Mercedes Martinez with Raquel Gonzalez on the outside. What is the biggest difference between those 3 women that are legit and should be bigger than what they are? And then compare them to these 3 women on NXT that opened the show tonight. NXT knows how to book their women. NXT knows how to book their women to their strengths. NXT knows how to portray their women in the right roles. Martinez is a badass. Raquel Gonzalez is a beast. And Dakota Kai is fucking great. Everybody plays their roles well. Meanwhile, you got the Raw Women's Champion in Rhea Ripley, who shouldn't even be the Raw Women's Champion, looking on as Nia Jax is slipping and sliding all over the place. After a bucket of water was thrown in her direction, she's slipping on the mat, and Rhea Ripley is over there looking at this shit. She's involved with that shit. That loses credibility towards Rhea Ripley. The fact that Asuka is a part of this is a joke. The fact that Shayna Baszler is associated with this shit is fucking nauseating. Monday Night Raw doesn't give a fuck about women's wrestling. But NXT, they book it the right way. That's what I appreciate. And that's why I think Tess is coming on in. Coming on into NXT. So, Kai was in control. Then Mercedes Martinez regained the advantage here. Kai cut her off. And Martinez was fighting back. Kai with a code breaker for a near fall. So we got double underhook suplexes. Suplexes meaning plural by Martinez. Kai was sent to the outside. Martinez went out after her. She met Gonzalez out there instead. And Martinez blocked a punch from Gonzalez. First of all, Raquel Gonzalez was out there pretty much protecting Dakota Kai. Oh, you want to go through her to get to me type of bullshit. Well, I'm standing right here, bitch. What are you going to do about it? So they had a little back and forth on the outside. So Martinez blocked the punch by Gonzalez, and Martinez hit her with a forearm. Martinez then got into the ring again to drop Kai with a jumping knee strike. Martinez had Kai in a fireman's carry, and then all of a sudden Raquel Gonzalez got so pissed, she ran into the ring, caused a DQ, kicked Martinez in the face. Mercedes Martinez wins by disqualification. Gonzalez then attacked Martinez after the match, smashed her face into the ring post, lawn darted her into the barricade and plexiglass on the outside, completely laid her out. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I am very intrigued about what is going on here with Mercedes Martinez and Raquel Gonzalez. I think that's going to be a great match when it happens. The question is Dakota Kai going to remain with Raquel Gonzalez in this duo pair? I could definitely see Raquel Gonzalez being split away from Dakota Kai because Dakota Kai doesn't want to play second fiddle anymore. I could see Dakota Kai going on her own and wanting to prove herself without needing Raquel Gonzalez's help. But they are one of the most genuine acts on the NXT roster. So it would suck to see them being broken up, but I could see Dakota Kai being in so much more because, let's be honest, folks, she's damn good. And she's had several opportunities that were taken away from her for whatever reason, injury. She might not be ready. WWE management found liking in somebody else more so than Dakota Kai. She is eventually going to get her just due. And I do not think it's going to be with Raquel Gonzalez backing her up. I do think it's going to be on her own. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart in the next segment. And obviously they're the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And they are talking about the title defense against The Way that will come next week. Titles are on the line. There was no stipulation attached to this. Obviously, something happened later in the show where they did add a stipulation. So they got a match tonight against the Robert Stone brand, Jessi, Kamea, and Aliyah. And all of a sudden, a crew member comes and brings flowers. And in walks Frankie Monet with her dog, who doesn't have a name yet. I'm more interested in knowing what the dog's name is than Frankie Monet. Frankie introduces herself and says it looks like someone has a crush on Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Monet reads the card on the flowers and laughs as it says, they are from Dexter Lumis. So Dexter Lumis now is becoming a psychopathic playboy. It's great. All the more reason why I am moving away from liking this Dexter Lumis character. How could you take something that is Dexter Lumis and then already humanize him to a point where he feels like everybody else on the roster? Meanwhile, before you did the transformation and this gimmick, he was actually one of the most original characters on the roster. Doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I get they're trying to humanize him. Yes, I get it. They're trying to give him feelings and emotion. But don't you think it was a little bit too soon to do that? Did they really run through all of the ideas already for Dexter Lumis? I just think it's pretty much creative bankruptcy on NXT Creative. That's just my take there. So, they're from Dexter Lumis. Monet walks off as Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart make it clear they want nothing to do with Dexter Lumis. Hey, at least he's got good taste in women, right? So we see a video. This was probably the best part of the entire show. Cameron Grimes to the moon. Right? He walks into a Rolex boutique. Guy's got great taste in watches, man. Sooner or later, I also will own a Rolex for myself. I should already own two, but not really in the budget right now. It's not needed, especially in the middle of what's going on right now. But if I am to get a Rolex, eventually, I am going to be getting the Rolex Milgauss. I love it. Either that or a just plain stainless steel Submariner. Beautiful. Ceramic bezel. So he walks into a Rolex boutique, and Grimes says he's here to get something nice. Now, all the while he's there, I picked it up immediately. There was somebody in the background reading a newspaper. The newspaper was legitimately covering his face like this. You couldn't see him. And he was sitting back there, and I knew it was going to be who he was talking about last week. You all knew it was going to be Ted Dibiase, but we didn't know it in this segment. So he's looking to get something special. And the guy asks, oh, you're looking to get something special for a special somebody. And then Cameron Grimes said, yeah, me. I'm looking to get me something special. So Grimes says he has nothing but time. Take your time. And then all of a sudden he yells at the jeweler that he's taking too long pulling out the tray of watches to show him. And this was going to be a running theme throughout the rest of the show. So Cameron Grimes is shopping for a Rolex, ladies and gentlemen. We go back to NXT action. The grizzled young veterans that are out there, James Drake and Zach Gibson. Zach Gibson, one of my favorite promos in all of NXT. They're dressed in nice fancy suits. Drake talks about the NXT Tag Team Champions, MSK, being in tonight's main event and how they will compete in any kind of match without having to defend the titles against he and Gibson. Gibson calls them knobheads. It goes on and on about how the men make the titles, not the other way around. Yes, that is indeed correct. The men make the titles. None of these titles make the men because WWE doesn't put anything into the championships and making them prestigious. Soon to be recognized as the most important NXT Tag Team Champions, and they will ignite a fire that this division sorely needs. Out comes Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. Ciampa points out that they're both veterans. Grizzled young veterans talk about being leaders of the division, and that's something he and Toothless Timmy know about. And they all want to challenge MSK. Thatcher and Ciampa get into the ring. Ciampa brings up how the young veterans found a way last time they were in the ring together to beat them. And Thatcher's been studying some old tapes of James Drake and Zach Gibson. Thatcher found a lot of strengths, but he watched the NXT TakeOver UK Cardiff event where they lost the NXT UK Tag Team titles to Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. That was a great fucking match, man. If you guys don't know what that match meant to NXT UK in the early stages, go back and watch that match, man. That was a great fucking tag team match, especially with that crowd. So Thatcher gets hyped up as these two teams meet all face-to-face. He and Ciampa attack with their shoes, and they get the upper hand. Gibson pulls Drake to safety as they regroup at ringside, and the two teams are yelling at each other. So clearly, NXT is using Ciampa in the tag team role with Thatcher again against the grizzled young veterans. We got Imperium, we got MSK, we got Legado del Fantasma, we got Drake and Killian Dane. I believe we got Breezango, maybe Everrise. At least there are teams. At least there are teams. Ciampa and Thatcher aren't a real team. All the other teams are real teams. But at least they are trying with the tag team division. At least they are trying with tag team wrestling. It's more than Monday Night Raw and Friday Night for sure, where no tag teams actually exist outside the New Day and the Street Profits, and maybe Rude and Ziggler. I think I've become accustomed to thinking that they are a legit team. They are the tag team champions, and they've had successful defenses as of late, most notably against the Street Profits, clean. But three teams on two shows, something ain't right there. Rey Mysterio and Dominic, Booyaka, Booyaka, 619. Booyaka, Booyaka, Rey Mysterio, yeah. Yeah, maybe they're a team. Father and son, I don't know how you can't think they're a team. It's legitimately father and son, they're a tag team. Chad Gable and Otis, no. Not a tag team. I refuse to think that they are a tag team. Miz and Morrison, I would rather them be broken up and off my TV. The Lucha House Party, are they even still employed? Or did they get released with Kalisto and we just don't know? I don't know. But at least they're trying here on NXT. And the grizzled young veterans are great. Mackenzie's backstage with Killian, Dane, and Drake Maverick asking about their match with Imperium tonight. Another one of my favorite tag teams in the WWE. They're like the NXT version of The Bar. Sheamus and Cesaro. They were great. Drake has been watching wrestling a long time, and He knows how this will go. Either Dane will join Imperium or Dane will walk out on him. Dane interrupts and quotes a famous man telling Drake to have faith. Dane walks off. Drake asks if Dane just quoted George Michael. I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know one fucking tune from George Michael, man. I don't. Nor do I care. So we go get another vignette, man. We got some character development, some promo work on this show. I like it. I like it. And I like the development of Isaiah Swerve Scott, man. I really do. He's in the recording studio. They're giving him a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of an ambiance and an environment to work out of. I like it. And it fits him. He plays it very well. Cuts a promo on Leon Ruff. Says after last week, it's obvious the ring can't contain them any longer. So Scott goes on and proposes a Falls Count Anywhere match next week, saying it's time he's playing. This time he's playing with Ruff's life. So we got a Falls Count Anywhere match next week. And those two work very well together. Should be fun. It really should be fun. I just don't know why I should care when I have zero care as it is for Leon Ruff. Check the stream, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. 970 viewers here for Tuesday night on NXT. Filtering on in here still into the OTS venue. I appreciate you guys. 430 likes. We got 600 being the goal, guys. So we are almost there. Hit that thumbs up if you have not done so yet. If you guys are just joining us, hit that thumbs up. 600 likes is the goal. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. And turn on the bell for all notifications. Kevin Castle in the chat. Wait, so JD isn't in an actual bar. Modern graphics be so crazy. Brother, no, I'm not in an actual bar, but it definitely looks like I'm in an actual bar, right? Yeah, man. What other place would I be in talking pro wrestling, man? Give me a break. Toni Storm versus Zeta Ramier, I think her name was. I don't know who she is. This is the first time I'm seeing her. And Toni Storm, I said this last week. I'm going to say it again. Everything you want to love about this woman, it's definitely not hard to see that Toni Storm is going to be one of the biggest things, if they allow her to be, in the women's division. What is she, 23 years old? She's got so many years, man. I believe she could be on the path that a Sasha Banks goes on, or a Bianca Belair, or Becky Lynch. She's that good. She's that good. But when WWE took Toni Storm, who is a very lovable baby face, everybody wants to love Toni Storm, cheer for Toni Storm. When I first seen Toni Storm, man, in the Mae Young Classic, and then I watched some of her work, it's almost reminded me of a female version of a young Bret Hart working. Her selling was on point. She was fluid in the ring. She knew what she was doing. Her timing was right. Everything about what she was doing was great. Now, fast forward to where we are now, and WWE seems like they don't know what they're doing with Toni Storm. It seems like she's really lost out at sea, drifting without anything to do. Nowhere to go. And they got her in this fucking thing with Zoe Stark. Now, I think Zoe Stark is very good. I don't know why I should care about Zoe Stark. There's no backstory on her. I'd love to know who she is, what her goals are, why she's there. Haven't heard anything from her. She's just there. WWE's almost forced her down our throats in the ring with Toni, in the ring with Io, in the ring with Raquel, in the ring with Dakota Kai, in the ring with fucking Stevie Ray last week. Why should I care about Zoe Stark? But Toni Storm, WWE and management decided to turn her heel. The heel run ain't working out. It ain't working out. They need to revert Toni back to being a babyface because that's what she does best. I don't believe Toni is a heel. Maybe she was a heel in Japan. I don't know. I don't care. This is America. This is NXT. This is WWE. I don't give a shit what worked over there. It's not working now. Because we look at Toni Storm in a different way than people look at Toni Storm over there. But I don't think the heel turn is working out. This was pretty quick. This was very fast, and Toni Storm loses yet another match here on NXT. Don't know why. Ramie, or Zeta, I'm going to call her, got the upset after a distraction from Zoe Stark. And Zeta actually executed a beautiful shooting star press. Toni was a little too far away from the top rope, but she nailed it and got it. And she got the 1, 2, 3 on Toni Storm. And Zoe Stark came down to ringside, like I said, to cause the distraction. That allowed Zeta to shove Storm off the turnbuckles because they were jockeying for position up top. And then she executed a very nice shooting star press, got the upset pinfall, 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So WWE seems to be continuing the Zoe Stark and Toni Storm feud. Zoe Stark got a victory over Toni Storm at the TakeOver Stand and Deliver pre-show. So I'm assuming if things go right, this is all leading to Toni getting her victory back over Zoe Stark. But at that point, if you're going to do 50-50 booking, how does this get anybody over? Who exactly is over? Toni should not be losing matches like this. And Zoe Stark is the rookie on the roster. Can't put her over Toni. So how does anybody look good here if Zoe already beat Toni? Toni continues to lose, and then Toni beats Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark really hasn't won much either, except for a victory over Toni Storm. It's going to be something that ends up being a stalemate. I'm just struggling to figure out how anybody gets over here. But all I know is Toni should not be losing, A, and B, please revert this woman back to being a babyface, because the heel run ain't working out. LA Knight. L.A. Knight. My boy, L.A. Knight, man. I'm becoming a big advocate for L.A. Knight. I got news on L.A. Knight in just a second. But we got L.A. Knight, and he's interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. L.A. Knight is in the back. He talks about how there was some kind of spark between him and Indy Hartwell. He tells her to come see him once Dexter Lumis disappoints her. Knight walks off, and Ever Rise walks up. Matt Martell calls Knight a dummy. Chase Parker plugs their Saturday morning Ever Rise live show on social media. And Mackenzie Mitchell says, I have no questions for you, and walks off. So, two things here. Number one, Ever Rise is clearly, now more than ever, a piss-poor take and a dig, a comedic dig at the Young Bucks. And I'll actually let Jessi explain that tomorrow on the AEW Dynamite review. So, Ever Rise is a poor dig at the Young Bucks. And I don't know who is who here. I think Chase Parker, or is it Matt Martell? I think it's Matt Martell. Looks like Nick Jackson. He looks like a fatter Nick Jackson. So I'll let Jessi explain this tomorrow on the AEW Dynamite post show. But it looks like NXT with Robert Stone was kind of taking a dig at Tony Khan. And now they're taking a dig at the Young Bucks with Ever Rise. Now, as far as LA Knight goes, I got news on LA Knight. LA Knight says he was hated when he first came to NXT. He was actually interviewed by Busted Open Radio. And kudos to Dave LaGreca, by the way, on Busted Open Radio. I seen a clip of him floating around on social media. His rant on Monday Night Raw, though I have been ranting about this for years now, and I'm surprised people are now just waking up to it, but I guess that's how blinded people are. I'm just more of a realist, and I've accepted the fate of Monday Night Raw at this stage of the game. But I think he was a little bit over the top, but I got the anger. I don't know if it was an act or not, if he really feels that way, if it was for show. I don't know. I do a lot of entertaining stuff on here to entertain you guys, but what I say is really how I feel. But he shit all over Monday Night Raw last night. And I'm glad. Let the hate flow when talking about Monday Night Raw. It's about fucking time people start waking up to see how garbage the show really is, man. It was a fucking circus last night. It's not even a wrestling show right anymore, man. It's a fucking embarrassment. LA Knight says he was hated when he first came to NXT. He says this: So now you see me carrying myself in a certain way. Then you see what I do in the ring and on the microphone, which is uber confident. Then all of a sudden, I'm not talking to anybody in the back, and then people are like, who the hell does this guy think he is? When I got to NXT the first time, I was hated for like the first 3 months. And it's usually like a 3-month period before everybody kind of figures it out. Like, oh, wait, this guy's actually okay. Same thing in Impact. When I first got there, there was a big time heat on me in the locker room. And then there was one magical night. There might have been some tequila and wine that helped me come out of my shell. Suddenly there's a big babyface turn and we were good to go. I get what he's saying. You know, that uber confidence kind of comes off in a cocky way sometimes. And it happens with me. You know, people won't work with me in the community because, A, I probably bury them left and right with what I really know compared to what they usually portray on their own show. So they got a certain portrayal on their shows that don't really fit with me being there. And if I was on the show, I'd blow up their entire fucking shtick. And it's also the reason why I don't really invite anybody on this show either because, I mean, let's face it, everybody's a fucking shill. Everybody's just a blinded fucking idiot. But that uber confidence is also a thing that doesn't really get any compliments heading my way, or if you're somebody like LA Knight, you don't get the compliments heading your way. You know how many people reached out to me? Do you know how many people reached out to me on the new vision and the direction of the show with the layout and the bar and the intro and the outro? The fact that I'm transforming myself to be different and ahead of the game and do something that nobody in the community is doing. You know how many people reached out to me and said, man, what you're doing is great. What you're doing is such a great thing, man. You're an influence to everybody in the community. You know how many people reached out to me? Two. And I'm not even talking about Jessi, who I talk to every fucking day. Sal Rex reached out to me. Issa, Demon Diva, and my buddy Rusty from the 414. You guys know Rusty, the only guy that actually hosted off the script that did not include me. Nobody. Do you want to know why? Because they're either jealous or they are afraid. Because they know they can't do what I do. And why would they compliment me knowing that I'm better than them? And what I'm doing here is better than everything that is being portrayed in the IWC right now. Nobody reached out to me. And I usually am the type of guy that lets his voice get heard. I love showing things off when I know I'm better than everybody. That's not cockiness. That's just knowing that you have confidence. Nobody. I get where LA Knight's coming from. I totally get it. He's got that confidence. You see him when he talks. Guy doesn't stutter at all, man. He knows what he's going to say, and he's thinking about what he's going to say in the middle of the promo. Guy could be cutting a promo for 3 minutes. He knows what he's going to say at the third minute, around 30 seconds into what he's saying. He's that good. I don't know if he's NXT Championship material, but listen, LA Knight is good at this point right now where you could take him from NXT and put him on SmackDown, and he'd probably thrive on SmackDown. He just knows. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him on NXT. Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory. Bronson Reed is one of my favorite guys on NXT. Austin Theory. I was big on Austin Theory when he was evolving on the indies, where he was in Evolve. And I just seen future written all over him. I knew he would end up in WWE. I don't know if this comedic thing with the way is going to be looked at as maybe I shouldn't have done it. Maybe I could have been doing something else. I do think this is a good introductory for Austin Theory, but I do think that he does have future written all over him still. He's still very young. What is he, 24 years old? I mean, we don't have to be talking about future yet for another couple of years easy. Maybe when he's 27, 28 years old. But it's going to be fun to see him grow. Bronson Reed, you know, he was in the breakout tournament. Remember the breakout tournament when NXT was still on the WWE Network at 1 hour? He was in that breakout tournament, man. I didn't think much of Bronson Reed. And fast forward to where we are now, and he's easily one of the best acts on NXT. He gets it. He's got a great look. He's got great size. He's believable. He's legit. He can go in the ring. He's not a pushover in the ring either. Sometimes you look at guys like that, and they are not good in the ring. Bronson Reed knows what the fuck he's doing in that ring. He's very good. So this was a very good match here. And Theory was working over Reed. Reed eventually started to build a babyface comeback here. He manhandled Theory. He was throwing him around, using his weight. Theory was able to cut off a move and deliver a blockbuster on Bronson Reed for a 2 count. They traded near falls. So they both double down in the ring. They both take each other out. And Dexter Lumis walks down to ringside. Gargano and the Way are out there. They don't see Dexter Lumis coming down the aisle. Gargano and LeRae freaked out. Indy Hartwell is standing there. And she looks over at Dexter Lumis and she starts walking away. She didn't want to see Dexter Lumis. So she walked away. Lumis followed her, stalking her around the ring. Hartwell then rolled into the ring, and Lumis got on the apron. So he wanted to, I guess, embrace her in some way. And then they looked at each other, and Hartwell looked at Lumis and then yelled at him, "You talk too much." I don't know what that meant, but she said to Dexter Lumis, "You talk too much." That's that. So Lumis, he was on the apron, and Lumis shoved Indy Hartwell out of the way, and Austin Theory inadvertently knocked Lumis off the apron to the outside, took a bullet for her. So Theory charged towards them, and Lumis took the bullet, bumped off the apron. Reed obviously took advantage of this because Theory was on the ground. He goes up to the top, and he hits the tsunami splash, which, again, I will say it every time. You could not pay me all the money in the world to take that fucking splash from a man that size coming off the top rope, man. The most devastating finishing move in all of WWE is Bronson Reed. Unbelievable. Squash him like a fucking bug. 1, 2, 3. Bronson Reed gets a North American Championship match against Johnny Gargano, which I do think he will win. I do think that Bronson Reed will win the North American Championship because I just feel like it opens up a plethora of opponent if the title goes to a babyface. And I do think that Johnny, there's nothing really much for him to do with that championship right now. I do think it's going to Bronson Reed. You got to look at the spectrum of things in NXT. It's probably better on a babyface right now because it opens up a plethora of opponent for him. You got Isaiah Scott, who's winning matches. You got Santos Escobar, who right now is still feuding with Kushida, but that gets Santos Escobar potentially moving on up. You got somebody like Pete Dunne waiting in the wings who cut a promo tonight. He ain't winning the NXT Championship. He's not going after Karrion Kross. He's not winning the North American or the NXT title from Karrion Kross. I could see a Bronson Reed versus a Pete Dunne type match for the North American Championship. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. These are guys that are not going after the NXT title. Nobody's beating Kross. So it's ridiculous to even start mentioning these guys in discussion with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross at this point is like Roman Reigns. Nobody's beating him. Nobody should beat him unless it's a guy that is greater than Karrion Kross. And right now, nobody on that roster exists. Nobody like that, anyway, exists on that roster. So we got Bronson Reed beating Austin Theory, getting a North American title match in the future. Don't know when that happens, but he will win the championship when the time comes, in my honest opinion. So we see the way backstage. Johnny Gargano isn't happy with Austin Theory. Gargano blames everything on Dexter Lumis. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell blame everything on Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. And they're all tired of the various mind games that's going on. They hyped Indy up, and she storms off as if she was going to take care of some business. Imperium versus Killian, Dane, and Drake Maverick. This wasn't bad. This was actually far more competitive than I thought it would be. Imperium were building heat on Maverick here, and they cut half of the ring off like they usually do, keeping Maverick from tagging Killian Dane, which is the premise of all of their tag team matches. Maverick was being beat down. Dane was knocked off the apron, and he was not in the corner when Maverick was finally able to tag. Maverick looked very upset here, probably thinking Dane turned on him because they got this storyline. And we got Killian Dane and Imperium teasing a possible Dane joining Imperium situation. Now, Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane are no strangers to one another because they were Insanity. And Killian Dane was on the main roster. Alexander Wolf defected to the UK to join Imperium. Killian Dane joined NXT here in the States. Now they're all back on the same brand once again. And it looks like Alexander Wolf, at least Alexander Wolf, is trying to lure Killian Dane away from Drake Maverick and have him join Imperium. And Drake Maverick is wondering if that's really going to happen. Is he going to lose his big buddy, his tag team partner, to Imperium? I don't know. But something happened after the match, which I'll get to in a second. So Maverick, he was able to make the tag, but he was not because Maverick was in a situation where Dane was not on the apron, and he probably thought Dane turned on him. Dane rushed into the ring. He cleaned house on Imperium anyway. Dane was running wild. He was booted in the face to the outside. Bartel ordered Wolf at ringside to hit Dane with a chair, but Wolf couldn't do it. Bartel got in Wolf's face, and they were interrupted by Maverick, who flew off the top rope, and Wolf stood between Dane and the ring post when Dane was attempting to post Bartel. Dane instead was the one who ate the ring post instead. And back in the ring, Imperium double team Maverick, doomsday uppercut. Eichner muscled this guy up from a power slam position to a power bomb position. Then he did the flying European uppercut off the top rope, did Bartel. Eichner with the power bomb combination. Awesome stuff. They covered Maverick 1, 2, 3. They got the victory over Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. After the match, Alexander Wolf was standing doing the Imperium pose. He stepped up front in front of both guys, Bartel and Eichner, and they looked at each other like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? And then they stepped ahead of him, and Alexander Wolf was, just accepting it. So I don't know if it's this situation where Alexander Wolf is going to be tossed out of Imperium and replaced by Killian Dane. I don't know if Dane's joining Imperium. I don't know if Alexander Wolf's going to be booted out of Imperium and just join Dane and Drake Maverick. I don't know. Quite the interesting development here. But Dane joining Imperium, I kind of like the sound of that, but then that leaves Drake Maverick with nothing to do. So we'll see what happens. I'm thinking that Alexander Wolf continues to kind of mess up here for himself, and then they end up booting him out. Because really, if you look at it, he's honestly the odd man out. He really is the odd man out in Imperium. Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is another guy like Adam Cole. Has got nothing to do on this roster, on this show. Cut a pre-recorded backstage promo. He said no one is talking about his name when it comes to opportunities because he has the whole locker room shook. Talks about beating Kushida. And says the NXT Cruiserweight title is his anytime he wants it, which is legit. He teases going back to the NXT UK title and taking that back, or maybe going after Johnny Gargano in the North American title, or even NXT champion Karrion Kross. No. I'm sorry, Pete Dunne. I love you, bro, but no way. Dunne says he's the baddest man in NXT, and he dares anyone to try and prove him wrong. I could see Bronson Reed winning that title from Johnny Gargano and Pete Dunne challenging for the North American title. I could see it. I think those two would have a really good match. Cameron Grimes is still at the jewelry store, and he's decided on buying a watch. And he decided on, and I know my watches, he decided on a Rolex, what looked to be a Sky Dweller. Now, this is a big watch. This is over 40 millimeters. I believe it comes in at a 42 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 42 or 44. Yellow gold. And he says, this is not bad. This is perfect for me. And then all of a sudden, the guy that was reading the newspaper in the background on the couch walks up to him And he shows off in camera frame $1 million Rolex. All diamonds on the bezel, all diamonds on the band. And it's Ted Dibiase, and he shows off his much better watch and does his signature $1 million laugh right in Cameron Grimes' face. Ted Dibiase continues to laugh as he exits the jewelry store, and Cameron Grimes is unhappy about what just transpired here inside the jewelry store. This was some good stuff, man. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Grimes and Dibiase in their little back and forths, man. I think this is going to be some entertaining shit. I really do. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus the Robert Stone brand. This is Aliyah and Jessi Kamea with Robert Stone. This wasn't even a match. This was supposed to be a tag team title match, if I'm not mistaken. But we got Shotzi and Ember riding down to the ring. They were there for a match against Jessi Kamea and Aliyah, but they were attacked before it could start. And just as someone was showing up at ringside with more gifts, chocolates and flowers and all this stuff, Moon and Blackheart were attacked by LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They beat up the tag team champions with the chocolates, with the flowers, with the fruitcake, I believe that was there as well. And it almost looked like a fucking food fight at Titus Catering. So back in the ring, Robert Stone brand, both Aliyah and Jessi Kamea, they were parading around with the tag team title belts like they just won the titles or something. The match never got started. So we're getting a no-holds-barred match next week, I believe, with The Way. That is Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Adam Cole had a sit-down interview with somebody from Sports Illustrated. I don't know his name. I did not take it down. So Adam Cole was at poolside. He was on the phone. He's talking to somebody. And he was waiting for this geek to ask questions. And then this Sports Illustrated reporter was like, well, I was waiting for you to finish your conversation, Mr. Cole. So Adam Cole blamed it on him, but the guy was waiting for Adam Cole, realistically, to get off the phone so he could start the interview. Cole is asked how he's doing following the unsanctioned match and loss to Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver. Cole talks about how he's better than the roster despite being a little bit roughed up. He also mentions how he didn't want to carry the Undisputed Era when asked about the decision to turn his backs on them. As far as he's concerned, they turned on him, he says. So then this reporter asked about Kyle O'Reilly saying he's the face of NXT after opening and closing the show last week. Cole said Kyle got lucky at TakeOver and he's not ready for the main event spot. He goes on and says that time will tell if Kyle is ready for his spot, but he will never have Cole's spot as long as Cole is in NXT. Sounds like a loser leaves NXT match is on the horizon, if you ask me, which is not good for Adam Cole. Cole is asked about the current title chase with NXT champion Karrion Kross. Cole says Kross is good, but is he great? No. Kross is not great. Kross is good, but Cole said he could be. I don't know. He could go on to be great, but we just don't know. Cole also says that Kross hasn't had to deal with him yet. But if and when Cole decides he wants to go for the NXT title again, the clock will be ticking for Karrion Kross. I didn't know Adam Cole was such a comedian, bro. I didn't know Adam Cole got into stand-up comedy. It ain't happening. Adam Cole is not beating, nor should he ever beat Karrion Kross. There's a reason the first time why they took the title off of Adam Cole and put it on Keith Lee. Because a match with Adam Cole and Karrion Kross would have been the most unbelievable, and I don't mean unbelievable in a good way, the most not legit championship match of all time. Adam Cole would have looked like a fucking jobber. There's no way Adam Cole is going to beat or make anything believable against somebody the size of Karrion Kross. That's why they took the title off him and put it on Keith Lee. Come on. It's not going to happen. By the time Adam Cole sniffs a world title, it'll be on Monday Night Raw. Because you know what's happening. Cole says he's not happy with people saying Kyle is going to replace him. Cole is asked what's next for him. It's nobody's business. I know what's next for me, but it's nobody's business. And it doesn't matter where he goes or what he does. We will see the best damn Adam Cole that everyone has seen up until this point, and he promises that. Cole ends up talking trash to the interviewer, and he's making fun of his interview skills. He says, "You got me sitting out here in this heat. How do I exit this dump?" Meanwhile, Adam Cole is complaining about the heat, but he's wearing a 3-piece black suit. And he's complaining about the heat. Who told you to show up in black? You look great in black, but you could have wore something else, bro. Complaining about the fucking heat. He's sitting there in a 3-piece black suit. Come on. Legado del Fantasma versus MSK and KUSHIDA is the main event of the show. This was pretty decent. Nothing out of the ordinary here, folks. This was standard 6-man tag team match with current feuds going on. You got KUSHIDA and Santos Escobar, and then you got the tag team champions in MSK against Legado del Fantasma. So you got a bunch of championship implications here in this 6-man tag. So KUSHIDA ran wild after tagging in. MSK was being beaten down, cleaned house. MSK with stereo dives through the ropes. So Escobar powerbombed KUSHIDA at one point through the announce table. Lee was shoved off the top rope. Wesley, that is. Not Keith Lee. I don't know where Keith Lee is. Wesley was shoved off the top rope. Carter went to go check on KUSHIDA after he was powerbombed by Santos Escobar through the table. And Carter was booted in the face. He was then sent crashing into the ring steps. Both Carter and KUSHIDA were laid out at ringside, leaving Wesley all alone in the ring. Lee was doing his crazy flips and dives when he drop kicked in midair. Lee was all by himself against Santos Escobar. Triple team after quick tags by Legado del Fantasma, and Lee was on his way to being beaten down and pinned here. Double team moves by Wilde and Mendoza. Lee was able to get away from all of Legado del Fantasma. Lee then moved so Escobar could crash and burn coming off the top rope with a big splash. Lee tagged Carter in. Another hot tag for the babyfaces. So Nash Carter came in. Carter ran wild with some offense. He was cut off. KUSHIDA, after being powerbombed through the table, tried to come in and make the heroic babyface save, but he was taken out. He was given a phantom driver by Santos Escobar. Double team finisher on Carter. And Mendoza covered Nash Carter. And Legado del Fantasma pin the tag team champions. Am I watching Monday Night Raw? I don't know why this match was made if we have a creative decision that is only going to end up with either the challengers losing and then moving on to somebody else, or the champions being pinned and taking a pinfall on television in a meaningless 6-man tag, only to get Legado del Fantasma the pin so that they now can boast that they pinned the tag team champions and we get a tag team title match between Legado del Fantasma and MSK. I don't know. Sounds like a Monday Night Raw decision if you ask me, folks. But next week, we got a decent show. Finn Balor's coming back. I'm assuming we see Karrion Kross. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole may be there. We got Women's Tag Team Championships on the line with Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way. We got Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott. That is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Maybe we get a tag team title match next week. So NXT seems to be shaping up to be a much more important show next week. But we had to suffer through 2 weeks of pretty bland and unoriginal content here. I was hoping that after last week, which I thought was a just filler episode, I was hoping that they turn around and be a little bit better tonight. Same amount of interest that I had last week. Just not there. It's just not there, man. So if you missed this week, if you missed last week, believe me, you didn't miss anything. That's why I'm here. I got you covered. Time to go over the super chats, man. Time to go over the super chats. Yeah. Let's do it, man. We got off the script koozies. Make sure you guys, if you want in on them, there's only a limited amount, man. If you guys donate $15 or more tonight in super chat, you guys will get an off the script koozie. All you have to do is email me your information immediately. Your mailing information, your full name and mailing information. JDfromNY206 at yahoo.com. $15 or more in Super Chats tonight, and you get an off-the-script koozie. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. That's Twitter and Instagram at JDfromNY206. And hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. And if you guys want to hit that thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. We got 535 likes, man. The goal is 600, so we are 65 away. So come on. Let's do it, guys. I appreciate you greatly. Hit that thumbs up. Let's start at the top here, man. Deshaun Turner with a $19.99 Super Chat. JD, man, what's good? Today is my birthday. Let me get a black martini and don't have Jessi shake it. I want it stirred. Yo, Jessi. You're going to get this guy a black martini, bro. Stir it. Don't shake it. Deshaun, thank you, brother. Happy birthday, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you're getting yourself an OTS koozie tonight. Make sure you email me, Deshaun, your full name and address, and Hoop Media is going to get on that immediately for you. Moving on with the rest of the Super Chats, ladies and gentlemen, I got to, YouTube is so broken. In the goddamn studio, it doesn't show the Super Chats anymore. I don't know why. Ali, hey JD, my question is, which show do you see Adam Cole on, Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live, if he ever gets called up? Ali! Ali! Did you watch my Friday Night SmackDown post show? Did you watch my Monday Night Raw post show? I know you were there. You super chatted. If you watched either one of those two post shows, the answer that you seek is in both of those post shows. And he says, how did you like the new Mortal Kombat movie? It was good. It wasn't great by any stretch, but it was good. I prefer the original. That's just me. Mr. Cake with a $2. Mr. Cake, by the way, you got to send me your address, buddy. You got to email me your full name and address, man. You donated over $15 yesterday. You're getting a koozie. Should NXT start touring, JD? Yes. Yes. We got the CCC with a $4.99 UK Super Chat. As bad as Raw is, at least you can make fun of it and laugh at how bad it is. NXT is just boring and lifeless. It's so hard to sit through. I agree. I absolutely agree, man. Chase Wood with a $19.99 Super Chat. You're getting yourself a koozie, brother. Make sure you email me, Chase Wood. Chase, Wood. The venue looks phenomenal, JD. What do you think Bronson Reed's future holds in NXT? North American champion. John Cream with a $20 Super Chat. John Cream, email me, bro. Koozie. JDfromNY206 at yahoo.com. You have great sponsors. Thanks for the show. John Cream, I appreciate you, brother. Blue Chew, Amazon Music, Dr. Squatch, Audible, and Advanced GG. Got a great lineup of sponsors in the OTS family, man. William Robertson 1999 super chat. We got a lot of koozies going out tonight, guys. William, email me, brother. NXT just doesn't have the same vibe as it used to. Seems like the people writing the old NXT are gone. Seems like Bruce may be training the NXT writers. It's not that bad yet. It's just boring. Thank you, William Robertson. Thank you for the 1999 in super chat. World of Wrestling. What were you watching here tonight? A boring episode of Raw or NXT? I couldn't tell the difference. What happened to our NXT? It died when it left the WWE network. That's what happened. The Dud with a $5 super chat. Frankie Monet reminds me of Rene Dupree and his dog, Fifi. That may be the basis of the fucking gimmick. Mr. Cake, $2 super chat. Mercedes, Taya, and Tessa on NXT best division ever. It's already the best women's division ever, man. Adding Tessa is just going to make it better. John Trailer with a $20 super chat. You got to email me, brother. You're getting a koozie. What's up, JD? I once read a post in a wrestling Facebook group that said Vince would never create another star like Hogan, Austin, Rock, or Cena out of fear of them leaving the company for other opportunities. What do you think? I think that post is correct because it's been the way that it's been. Seriously. I don't think Roman's going to be wrestling forever. Roman's going to retire before he's 40. And Roman's going on to follow the same path as John Cena. Roman's going right to Hollywood. Thank you for the $20, John. Matthew Sanday with a $4.99 super chat. You're the man, JD. The venue looks awesome. Can I get a, we're going to need a bigger boat? What a fucking geek. Adnan Verk. Whee! And then he pulls out a line from fucking Jaws. Michael Mirza with a $15 super chat. He gets himself a koozie. Email me, brother. Would you look at this fine establishment? I'll have tonight's special on the rocks, my friend. Keep elevating the game. You know it, man. Appreciate you. Captain Solo. $2 super chat. Omega vs. Swan. Candidate for match of the year. You know, I don't even know what the match of the year is yet, man. So far. It may be Ciampa and Walter. Well, the triple threat match from WrestleMania between Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Edge. Or maybe Roman versus Bryan at Fastlane. Some decent ones. There's some decent ones for sure. Otis Driftwood with a $4.99 super chat. Inside the venue looks amazing with the laptop and beer. I agree and cannot believe NXT got rid of Slipknot for that garbage. Keep doing your thing here, man. The NXT theme song at the open of the show is dreadful. What happened to Slipknot, man? Well, they got old pretty fast, huh? Either that or somebody has an infatuation with Poppy. And I'm not talking about Poppy from Jerry Seinfeld. Coil Phoenix 713 with a $20 super chat. Your koozie is on the way, Coil Phoenix. The whole thing with Toni Storm has made me sad. When she was at NXT UK, she was amazing. She belonged there. She had that it factor, but now she's here in the US, and it's like she lost that it factor and has become just normal. She's living in Orlando with Juice Robinson, man. What can I tell you? She's just living life as a 24-year-old. I don't know. Hopefully she doesn't get too complacent. She's too good. Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. I think it was last week on Indie's social media. The tsunami left Austin Theory talking like Macho Man Randy Savage. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if that was the case at all. I shotgunned you with a $19.99 super chat. Bro, I think you got to reach out to me, man. You got to email me if you have not done so yet. You got your beer koozie, man. Thank you for the $20. Remember when NXT was good? Another WWE product ruined. No shock there, though. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? I just wanted to say thank you so much for the off-the-script beer koozie. Greatly appreciate it, bro. I got your email, man. Forwarding it to Hoop Media as soon as the show is over. Davey Thompson. JD, did you get my email yesterday? $2 super chat. Yes, I did, bro. Your koozie is on the way, man. $15 super chat by The Bean Kicked In. Thank you, bro. $15 super chat. Let me get some more tunes here. What am I doing here? Yes, this one. Thank you, Bean Kicked In. Let me get that koozie, JD. Also, grand scale. Where do you see NXT going with the next year after Cross? Can I get a Strowman? Whee! Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. That Cole interview was great, but there was a finality to it. Where he's going is none of our business. We'll see the best version of him. Oh, man. Yeah, you know what we'll be seeing? A casket with Adam Cole's name on it. Munchie time. 1999 super chat. Loving the new venue, JD. I'll take a double shot of Screwball peanut butter whiskey, please. Cheers. Munchie time. I'm not sure. I got so many emails, dude. Not sure if you emailed me, but email me if you have not. You got your koozie, brother. I appreciate you guys very much. Indigo with a $15 super chat. He's getting a koozie. Hey, JD, much respect. I have to say once again, the OTS venue is too fire. NXT was a true shame to see this brand in its current state. Another awesome live stream. Looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you, Indigo. Indigo, email me, brother. Send me your address once again. I know I probably have it somewhere, but make sure all of you guys email me, man. James Hansen says in the chat, blocked by Jessi. Good job, Jessi. Dude, you are such cringe. Yeah, so is your mother. I asked her to make me Italian tonight. She made me pork chops. I threw it in her face. I told her, bitch, get back in the fucking kitchen and make what I want. Slut. I'm so cringe, yet you're in my fucking chat, in my goddamn establishment. Bounced out of the venue. Hope the fucking curb didn't hit you too hard on the way out. Indigo, thank you, brother. Email me. Furious Nation, $10 super chat. I like NXT, but they need something bad. People like Tessa, Moro, Omega, Adam Page, MJF, Neville, Darby Allin are best for business. They would move the needle. Also, I really miss Moro in NXT. I miss Moro so much, man. I miss him so much, man. Edgar Estrada with a $20 super chat. Oh, JD, why, oh, why is this show not as good as it once was? Fuck Vince and Bruce for messing with NXT. Quick question. Will you send a kussy to Kashmir? X for a brother. LOL. OTS for life. A koozie. That's what you mean. Koozie. I'll send you a koozie and then you can send it to whoever you want, Edgar. You got to email me your address. So make sure you do that. We got another couple here, guys, before we get out of here. Deshaun Turner, $4.99. Did you get the email I sent you from the Yahoo Mail? So I don't know where's my drink, Jessi, you geek. LOL. Yes, Deshaun, I got your email, brother. And Chris Black with a $4.99 super chat. He says nothing. Why are you so shy, Chris Black? Don't forget to tip the bartenders, man. They work hard for you. Please. Damn, I miss JD trashing the trolls. Fuck the trolls. They're wasting their Tuesday night watching me on YouTube. All the trolls come in here and expose themselves as fucking girlfriendless virgins. Because I'm over here making money with my fucking koozies, and you're all sitting here jerking off to me on your screens in this fucking multi-million-dollar establishment that I built for myself. Mr. Cake with the $2.99 super chat. Also, can I get a bubbly in the venue? Bubbly is on the ice, brother. And Otis Driftwood with a $4.99 super chat. JD, can I be a bouncer at your venue to powerbomb these geeks out of the chat? Yeah, man. With a name like Otis, I think you would fit good as a bouncer. And Mr. Griffin with a $5 super chat. I got your email, brother. Hoop Media is taking care of all of it, bro. All the information, Hoop Media has it. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Vivek Wagga, fuck off. I'll go Wagga your mother after the live stream's over. Tell her I'm coming over to Wagga off. Get the bed ready. I'm getting out of here, guys. I may jump on Twitch. Play some Call of Duty. Who's down for some Call of Duty? Anybody? Play some Cold War. Maybe some Warzone. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If you guys see me go live, you know where to be. Twitch.tv/JD from New York. Guys, I'm getting out of here. It's going to be 78 degrees in New York City tomorrow. You know where I'll be. Home, doing nothing. But I got my cold beverage. Windows are down, and what you guys need to do is simple. Give me those guitar emojis in the chat and that music. Max. I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT, not NXT, AEW. I don't even know what show I'm talking about, man. AEW with Jessi tomorrow on the post show. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite.